Hola clase, it is miércoles el 25 de marzo 2020. It is March 25th. We're on to another day of remote e-learning. It's going pretty well. We're kind of slowing down a little bit with our submissions, but you do have a pretty large project, and you may have some other things in other classes that are causing you to have to even out your time a little bit more. Stay on top of that writing. Remember, that is due by Sunday, the 29th, in order for you to get that submitted and graded and get all the points you can. So, a couple things I want to touch on before we get into what we're doing for today. Number one, when you are writing out your parts, so like for Tuesday, you were supposed to write out the beginning of your chapter 11 that you're writing. I would do that in Spanish because then otherwise you don't have to go back at the very end and translate all of that. If you submit it to me in Spanish, I am able to read through it, give you any suggestions. I will tell you things that need change. Need things that need changed, tell you, where you might want to look, where you have some errors. If you wait until Friday and submit that as your final piece, then I'm just going to grade that as is. I'm not going to give feedback. So I would strongly suggest Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, submitting all your pieces as in Spanish. And then that way on Friday, when you get that final put together, I'll still look at that ending that you write on Friday in Spanish and give you suggestions there, but I'm not going to go back and give suggestions for the other areas because I would have already done that throughout your other submissions. So just a little bit of a tip. Also today, you're going to find when we get in and look at the lesson and resources that I have a pop-up grammar lesson for you. Just some little things that I'm noticing in your writing. You are doing a fantastic job. I am so proud of you. You don't know, as those were coming in today and I was reading them, they just made me smile really big because you're still doing amazing work. And I'm sad that we can't be together talking and sharing Spanish. But even without that, you're still working really hard and I appreciate it. One other thing I want to touch on before we get into what you need to do for today, please, please do not use Google Translate and Spanish Dictionary to create whole sentences. It's fine to go in and get a word or a small phrase, but don't just go in and translate every sentence because it's very obvious if you do. And for some of you, I did give some comments because some of your writing indicated to me that might be happening. That's kind of your warning. If it comes in that way in the end, I will ding you for points. So just do your own work. I would rather it be sentences that are not perfect. Your writing should not look like a Spanish 3 or a Spanish 4 student. You're a Spanish 1 student, and that's what I love about you. And so write like a Spanish 1 student. Make sure you're checking things that you should know. And some of those things are indicated in that pop-up grammar video, like subject verb agreement, adjective noun agreement, things like that. But it's okay if what you're saying is a little choppy. It's not perfect Spanish because I don't expect that from you. So just make sure you're doing your own work. If you need any help with your writing, please make sure you email me or send me a message through Canvas. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. And we are using first period's Canvas page today. So here we are. We'll go to our remote learning. We'll click through. Right now, this is just for first period. Remember, first period, you must do this attendance check, and some of you are not doing that. And so make sure you're going in. All you have to do is say a key, so I know you're here. But when you click on that, it will take you to the check-in for attendance. That's not going to be available until 12 a.m. So you can't really access it. But if I leave student view real quick, this is what it looks like. You just reply and then I mark you off as attended for the day. So please make sure period 1, you are doing that. That's the only class for me that needs to take care of that. So just first period. All right, so let's go back to our calendar. And we're going to go to our lesson and resources for today. So we're going to scroll down. This is just a reminder about due dates. So here is your template for today. So you're going to have some pop-up grammar tips. This is a YouTube video. The video is also within modules. And then I also, so that's in modules. And then I also put just the hard copy of the Google slide in there if you don't want to listen to my lovely voice. But I would strongly suggest you go through that so that you're making sure that you're getting all those things correct in your writing. And then the other thing you're going to have for today is just the overview of what you should be doing for days, what you should have done so far for day 1 through day 3. So for day 1, at this point, you should have, submitted your plan. Most of you have done that, and you did a really good job with that. Day 2 was Tuesday. You're writing a rough draft of your first 3 paragraphs. So that's like the beginning of your chapter. I told you I would do that in Spanish, and I did take some points off. If you didn't do that in Spanish, you can redo it in Spanish and resubmit that, and I will rescore it. You should be shooting around 100 words. And so if you were a little bit less, then you're going to want to make sure you beef up that middle part of your chapter 11, because remember, in the end, you have to have at least 350 words for this written piece. So today, here's what you should be working on. You're going to write a rough draft of the second 3 paragraphs. This would be the first 3 paragraphs of your middle of your chapter, and submit those paragraphs in a word count around 100 words to Canvas. Now, not all of you submitted with a word count today, and I'll be honest, I didn't take points off for that. That's more for you. You need to know where you're at with your words, because you don't want to be scrambling at the last minute to have to add more. So those are the things you need to should have already been done. And so today you're just focusing on what is here. That is also outlined in the assignment. And we're going to have to leave student view to access that. All right, so same setup that you've seen all week. I've just gone in and said, on lunes, that should have already been completed and submitted. Martes should have been completed and submitted, so you're working right here. Remember, if you scroll down, you do have these helpful verbs, and a lot of you are using those, and so that's awesome. If you need help with conjugations, you can put that verb into Spanish Dictionary, and there is a place where you can click and see the conjugations. Or if you need help, just send me a message and I will help you. Also, there is an example of a final submission. So make sure that you are looking over that. Don't steal any of Senorita Blanca's ideas, but that gives you an idea of what your final will look like. Remember, you want to have your name, the date, and then the title of that chapter. All right, mis estudiantes, I think that is it for today. If you need anything at all, send me a message through Canvas or email me, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. I'm planning to do another Zoom session, another Zoom meeting with 8th grade on Thursday. So that would be the 26th. I will send out an invitation for that later today on Wednesday, so probably around 2-ish. So if you would like to join that, it will be at 10:30. I know that that's early for some of you, but we would like to see you. Senorita Blanca will be there. Hopefully some of your classmates will be there. Abby likes to pop in so she can say hi, and I will be there. So if you can join us on Thursday at 10:30, make sure that you plan for that. All right, if you need anything at all, let me know. I miss you so much, students, and keep working hard. I am very, very proud of what you've been doing. Adios.